Good morning, everybody. I'm Logan, and if you're new to this channel, you're going to be spending a day here with me on Broyans farm. So, in the seed room here, if you watched my previous video, you'll know that I just got this section seeded. Now, this was stuff like geraniums, pansies, violas, and portulacas. Then yesterday, I got these two sections done. That was like vinca, celosia, dianthus. Over here is some begonias. And you can see the plastic on top of them. The reason we do that is to kind of create like a second or third greenhouse effect, because we're already inside a greenhouse that's inside a greenhouse. And what it does is keeps a little more of the moisture in there and keeps it warmer in there. As you can see, our temperature gauge is right there, so we know how hot the seed trays are. There's also heat mats underneath here that's making warmth for them flats. On a day where it's sunnier, it'd be really important to get this plastic off, because when that heat comes down on it, it can get like 100 degrees underneath there, and that's way too warm. On a day like today where it's rainy and cloudy, it's not such a big deal, but we still want to get it taken care of, get it off, get it breathing, and if it needs any water, water it. So the plastic's off now. You can probably see that some of them, you can see each individual cell. Some of them are covered really heavy. And then some, like these over here, aren't covered at all. And that's because some seeds, like begonias here, don't require any dirt or covering over top. So they just need full light. Stuff like these ones here, which is the thyme, they just need a light covering, so you can see the cells, but they have a little bit on top. And then over here, things like gazania have what's called like a, I would say like a medium to heavy cover, to where you can see a little bit of the cells, but not many. And it's not that they wouldn't grow, but it's just that's optimal for them to grow. Wow, and I just noticed here's the first, I thought when I was taking this cover off here, because this was planted on 2/7, which today is 2/9, that I seen some green life coming up, and I was like, after I took it off, I'm looking, I don't see anything. I'm thinking, okay, I was just seeing things, but here it is. This is geraniums. This is the first seeds growing for the year right here. And I want to guess that the reason they're coming up rather than these over here is just because they didn't have quite as much covering, and you know, it's easier for them to poke out. So that's exciting, first life. And then over here, which you've probably seen me going past them, is plants that we have bought in. Not all plants that we grow, which we grow most of ours, I would say probably like 75%, but stuff like our hanging baskets, we buy a lot of those plugs in, just because I don't exactly know the right wording for it, but it's like we don't have the right license, or we don't have the patent, something of that sort, to grow them ourselves, so we have to buy them in. Now these are not for hanging baskets. These are daisies, which will go in like an 8 or 10 inch pot along with the heuchera here. So as soon as they come in, what we do is we spray them with a light oxidate mixture. If there's any kind of diseases coming from that facility, we try and, you know, kill that as fast as possible. Then we bring it in here until we are ready to pot it into something bigger. So I just got my dirt tub filled. Now I just laid out my next variety of seeds I'm planting, which is impatiens. We have 14 different varieties, which is more than what we would like, but we're also gonna get a lot of them used up this year. So I'm using my electronic tag maker right now. I just got this whole bottom row filled out. And this is faster all the way around, because like I explained in my previous video, we always used to just get a tag right on it by hand, and then we would staple it right to the bottom part of the tray. And as you can see, after years of doing that, it not only wears the tray down, but it also takes a long time to take those staples back out, because it's a big heavy staple. So we've went to this. It's a lot easier, and then once we're done, we can just peel it back off or put a new one over top if we need to. And what I really like, especially now, is I'm doing a lot of impatiens that are accent premium, premium here. So instead of me having to retype that out every single time, I can just use the backspace here, and I don't even have to type in impatient accent premium. That's all there. Now all I have to do is put in rows. And then we always put the date so we know when we planted it, which is 2/9. Print. Here comes the label, or the tag, whatever you want to call it. Cut it off, and there we go. Not that this is a huge time saver, but it just makes it a lot easier and simpler. So now I'm on to accent deep rows. Very satisfying. So now that I got all my tags printed, I'll get my trays apart, which is a bigger deal than it probably should be, and try and get it here to where you can see it. Let's just say I'm doing the extreme pink. These tags are nice because there's a split in the back, so I can just take that off. Do the same thing to that side, and then it sticks really well, but not so bad to where I can't get it off next season. Oops. And then there's that side. I'll do this side. And then so boom. Now my tray is ready to fill with dirt and then start planting. I like to leave a row in the middle if I'm doing a half tray of each, which is what I'm doing here. That way it's easy to distinguish what variety is which when we are transplanting them into 6-packs or 4-packs, whatever it is. So now to begin seeding, Dad's gonna grab that first tray that I did and start getting the soil into that tray. Now you can see how he kind of runs it through his hands because we have little chunks in the dirt and we don't want to get those chunks inside each cell because then the seed might not grow properly. So once he gets it all powdered up and on top of the flat, he'll take and start leveling it out nice and even. After that gets finished, then it comes over to me where I will take this board and make indentions into each cell so that way the seed has somewhere to sit. After that, then the tray gets placed into the seed holder and I'm ready to begin seeding. Now I'm ready to begin. I'll turn on the vacuum, which brings suction to the silver tray there with all the holes in it. Right here is my seeds. Now these are pelleted, so it makes my life a lot easier. That way I'm not getting multiple seeds on each tiny little hole. Once I get that tray filled up, I'll then take it over to my seed tray holder and I'll drop the seeds out and into the dirt.
After the seed tray is then filled with seeds, they'll get brought in here to Dad, where he will cover it, if needed, with vermiculite. And you can see when he does it, he tries to make everything even. You don't want big clumps or little patches. You want to try and make sure the whole thing is even, whether you're covering it heavy or light. Then the tray will get placed onto the heat mats, where we will water it, and it will sit there and grow until it's ready to get moved out of the seed room and into the big house.